So today I have a little tip for my gaming mains out there. I personally found this out on my own, just like while I was playing with him and experimenting with stuff. However, millions of people play this game, so there's no guarantee I'm like, the first one to find this, but I thought I would just share it anyways, because I actually think it's pretty cool, and I think it's relevant to his damage as well. Basically, this trick allows you to cheat out one more plunge per rotation without much effort. However, this probably is only going to work on a double Hydro team, for example, Farina, Yelan, Cloud Retainer, and Gaming. Because when you're doing plunges this fast, there is a high chance that if you only use Farina, she won't apply enough Hydro for you to vaporize all of your plunges. So basically here, I'm going to show you some examples of some rotations. So in the first one, this rotation is going to start with your skill, then use your burst, and then spam your skill off cooldown. And if we look here and we count how many plunges we get, including the one at the beginning. So that's one plunge, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the burst ends and Monsai doesn't fly out anymore. So now in this rotation, I'm going to start with my burst instead of my skill, but then use my skill immediately afterwards. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get 6 plunges again. Now, what most people would do if they want to get more plunges in a rotation is to run. You would run towards where Monsai is going to land, right? So here, I'll show myself doing this. So this is what that looks like. So in this rotation, I'm going to start with burst, then I'm going to use my skill, and then I'm going to run towards wherever Monsai is going to land. Doing this version takes a bit more effort, right? Because you have to run towards Monsai, so you have to look for him in the midst of the chaos, and you might run into enemies, you might have to run really far away from them, you don't know where he's going to land, because there's a bit of like randomness to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So when you do this, you save a bit more time because you don't have to wait for Monsai to come running back to you every time. So it allows you to fit one more plunge into the rotation, right? But again, there's some degree of randomness to this, which can be annoying because you don't know where or how far Monsai is going to land after he leaves you. So you might have to run really far away from enemies to get to him quicker, or you might have to run possibly into enemies' attacks, which you can get like staggered and slow down your rotation. So here is what I suggest doing instead. And now this might seem weird at first, but trust me, I think it works. And I think it's also more fun to play him like this. So what you're going to do, you're going to start with burst, and instead of using your skill right away, you're going to see Monsai fly out somewhere, right? You can see him because he has these like yellow effects flashing around him, so he's a lot easier to see. And instead, what you're going to do of using your skill right away, you can see I have my cooldown, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to use it. Once he hits the ground, he makes this effect. He also makes a nice sound cue. Now I'm going to use my skill. And as you can see, my skill cooldown starts, Monsai returns to me, and my skill resets. However, I'm already in the middle of my plunge attack, so I still have it. So I do my plunge, and you can see Monsai right here, he's flying out again. But if you look at my skill, there's no cooldown. I could use it right now again if I wanted to. I could use it immediately, because before, I used my skill right before he comes back to me. So the skill cooldown resets as I'm already plunging. And now you're just going to chain this. You're going to do this over and over again. And so, as you can see here, even though I have my skill, I'm gonna wait for Monsai to land. And you can either listen to the sound cue or you can wait for the little yellow effects to disappear, like this. So once they disappear, now I'm gonna plunge again. And as you can see, look, right here, he resets my cooldown. Literally 0.1 seconds after I use it. I use my skill here, you see the cooldown, he resets it immediately, because I captured him right after I used my skill. So then I plunge, he flies out again. And now I still have my skill back, but I don't use it yet. I wait for him to land first. I think maybe you guys get the point now. So I'll play it in full speed, so you can see. So burst, wait, skill. Wait for him to land, skill. Wait for him to land, skill. Wait for him to land, skill. So that's how you're gonna play him now. And now, if we count how many plunges we get, and by the way, if you watch how I'm playing, I don't have to run towards him when I do this. Right? Let's count how many plunges I get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So doing this allows you to basically cheat out one more plunge at the end of your rotation, and you don't have to do any nonsense like running towards him. So you don't have to like possibly ruin your positioning. All you have to do is use your skill right before he returns to you. So he resets your cooldown mid-air or mid-plunge. This trick pretty much allows me to consistently get 7 plunges per rotation, but only if you're using double hydro. Obviously, if you're using solo hydro with Farina, there's a high likelihood that you won't be able to vaporize every hit. But yeah, so doing this is really nice because it allows you, instead of running to Monsai or waiting for him to fully return to you, instead you're overlapping him returning to you with using your skill. Which, it saves you time without having to run all over the place, and it gives you an extra skill at the very end, which allows you to squeeze out a bit more extra damage. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I have to talk about. Just thought I would share it because I thought it was interesting, and I think it's pretty fun to play him like this, so yep, that's it.